So once we get to this place where we feel like we really wish our kids came with manuals, and we realize that those old manuals actually were embedded inside of our community, where in those places where human beings have spent 95% of our evolution in these tribal societies of, 25 to 100 people, that those would have been the places where we would have had mentors. We would have had other parents ahead of us in the act of raising children, and they would know a lot. They would have seen a lot happen. They would have known about other people's kids. They would have known about all kinds of stuff that would have helped us raise our own children. But the other thing is we would have had a lot of our own direct experience. So in these tribal communities, we have these multi-age groups, and everybody's together all the time. We're not separated into the silos of like first graders and second graders and middle schoolers and high schoolers and then, old folks or whatever. Like everyone was together, working together, bringing what they had and their skills together. And it meant then that everyone was pretty well versed in like how the whole structure ran, right? So even as a kid, you would have been in charge of kids younger than you. And you would have played with them and kept them entertained and done those things until you were old enough to take on more adult roles in the community. And we know this because we can look at anthropology. We can look at tribal groups that still live in very similar ways to their ancestors. And so we know that this is how this would have worked. And so it's not even just that other people would have experience. We would have had more experience growing up. We would have been taking care of the younger kids. We would have known what to do when they, we would have learned all the basics of parenting and caregiving and taking care of and caring for another human being, because we would have been doing it probably from the time we were old enough to, 6 or 7 or 8, when we could pick up a littler kid and move them around. So, that's another piece of this puzzle of where did the manual go, is we have lost it because of the way that our society is structured. And so I'm going to make a series of these videos to kind of address some of this stuff, and how we might come back from this place where we are devoid of both our own experience and of mentors.